Welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am the guy who spent the last day watching Myktybek Orolbai videos. I know how to spell his name. Either way, the guy seems like he belongs in the UFC. I really like what I've seen from this guy, and I think it's an appropriate matchup against Uros, to be honest. This one intrigues me. I feel like under most circumstances, I'd be writing off the opponent and just saying Uros is going to steamroll the guy. But here, this is actually a very intriguing matchup, despite the circumstances, which are that he took the fight on very, very short notice. And he's making his UFC debut here. And it's against a guy in Medic who I believe is an above-average UFC fighter to begin with. Medic is a very good striker, very comfortable at range, diverse attacks. He's got some decent power, too, even though he's not, fucking Josh Koscheck or whatever. But he's slick on his feet from the outside, and he's proven to be very damn tough. He has one loss. It's to Jalen Turner. He was hurt badly in that fight, almost TKO'd, and then he found his neck and choked him out at the end of round one. But he still survived, despite, the TKO anyway. He survived, despite getting hurt badly. And then against Matthew Semelsberger, a fight in which I picked against him due to physicality and the danger that Semelsberger has. He's dropped everybody in every fucking fight he's ever been in. And he dropped Uros. He hurt him. But Uros gave the performance of his career so far, and he survived Matthew Semelsberger, tamed him, took over the fight, and got him out of there in an incredibly fun fashion. I believe he got a bonus for that, and if he didn't, he definitely should have. He looked really good in that fight and showed a lot of grit, a lot of heart, and great cardio as well. And that makes him a very tough fighter to beat. That plus everything else we've seen from him. And I was picking him to beat Johnny Parsons as well a few days ago. I believe I made the video about that. But here in this fight, he's got a much different challenge. This guy, Myktybek Orolbai, is a very good fighter. Very good fighter, wrestling-based first and foremost, and he will use his wrestling. And also on the feet, he seems to be getting better and better. The guy's last few fights, he's looked incredible. I think I've seen like the last 5 fights of his or something, or a good amount of them. And he has some sharp hands and always mixes in the wrestling. He's never truly been bested cleanly. I mean, he's got one defeat to this guy, Sajuev, and it was a very close fight. I did think he kind of lost, but it was a razor-thin fight where it could have gone either way. I did think faded a little bit in the fight, but he was still able to, in a lot of people's opinions, everybody's opinion online anyway, steal round 2 again with his grappling. He's a really strong wrestler with really good pressure. Seems to be really tough, has every trait going for him. And despite the one loss that he has, where I thought he did kind of slow down a little bit towards the end and started being outstruck, he seems to be in really good shape, generally. Of course, in this fight here, you have to take something away from that because he's taking the fight on like 2 days' notice. I don't expect him to be in optimal shape. And I do think Uros can duplicate the success of the guy Sajuev who beat him and fight a very similar fight. But again, even in that fight, Orolbai proved he can be a dominant force with the wrestling down the stretch. Maybe not in round 3, but in round 2. In everybody's opinion online, anyway, he stole the fight. I thought, again, it was really close. But he's a guy that has everything going for him and seems to have every trait going his way. If I was forced to give a prediction, I'd go with Uros winning by decision, but I can't say that confidently. I was waiting to bet on Myktybek Orolbai, to be honest. And then I saw the odds and they were dead even. I said, makes a lot of sense. I'm not going to bet on this, which says a lot about how much respect I have for this guy Orolbai. And also on the feet, danger-wise, he's a guy that I think will bring that welterweight power. He's a guy that has, even though he moved up in weight and, missed weight a few fights ago and whatever, he's a guy that has good power. A nice big frame, hit a beautiful uppercut, one of the most beautiful uppercuts ever over the guy, I don't know, I forgot his name. But I saw the last few fights of his, and his striking has definitely become a threat. It's become a threat, and his wrestling is still a threat, and will be moving forward into the UFC. I have a lot of respect for this guy's skill set, because Uros Medic, again, I think is an above-average UFC fighter. And he's, he hasn't shown a lot of weaknesses at all. Again, he was hurt by Jalen Turner, hurt by Semmelsberger, but survived both onslaughts and ended up only getting finished by Jalen Turner's rear naked choke. And I trust everything about Uros Medic, so I'm favoring him to win a decision. I favor it to look like the Sadjuev fight, where it's going to be pretty damn close, but I think he's going to get the nod. But not enough to bet on it, even with the odds being dead even. I think that's how much respect I have for this guy, Myktybek Orolbai. So staying away from it, hoping it's going to be a good fight. I'm expecting it to be close. And again, gun to my head, I'm thinking with short notice and the way both these guys' styles clash, it's going to look similar to the other loss of Orolbai. And I'll go with Uros Medic winning a decision down the stretch. Like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit. Check out my other videos.